Hello, hello. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. It is the post-match show. Man United 1, Real Betis 0. Welcome everyone to the Man United Agenda. This is the post-match review show, and I'm joined once again wearing his green and yellow. It's Stuart Marshall, all the way from Essex, but a lifelong Man United fan. Big up, man. I haven't spoken to you in a while, but yeah, salute to your pops, and welcome back to the show.
Good to see you, Monday. Good to be back. Winning ways again. That's what we want.
Certainly, and we're joined as well by one of my favourite colleagues. We did a show. Go check out Rich Sports as well. Eye test is continued. Bath time running things. Brilliant performance on Monday. How's your hip? And how you doing this Thursday evening?
Well, my hip is not good on Monday. I'm out for a minimum of 6 weeks, and I might need an operation if my physio doesn't go well. But you know, we move, don't we? Or just poorly and painfully in my case. But apart from that, I'm doing all right. Like, how are you?
I've got real. I'm out as well for about 4 weeks. I've got swelling all over my leg, dead leg. You know, it develops and gets swelled. So it's just
yeah. Has it got like
everywhere? I'll put up a picture on Twitter tomorrow morning. Show you just
it's called getting older, Monday. I gave up years ago.
You said you were coming back, Stuart. Now, Bath time. Hear this. Obviously, Woodlands United. You know about Woodlands United.
Yeah.
Stuart is willing to travel from east to west to come and play for us, and he plays up front. Stuart, have you still got it? You say talk about me getting old. Have you still got it?
Look, if you need me, mate, give me a call. I'll be there Sunday morning, whenever. It's only the other end of the central line.
I remember you saying that about 6 months ago, and it still hasn't happened. You were talking about being a great striker in your youth.
He doesn't need me.
We do. We had like 2 subs the other day. You know, you could have been one of them and got a run out, and it's filmed as well. I always do document every single game. So Stuart Marshall, offer's still there. If you want to come down, score goals, you know, there's a slot for you. Anyway, talking about our times are gone. We're not going to make it now, guys. But we're going to talk about the team selection today. Obviously, we're playing Real Betis. Just want to put yourself in the manager's shoes if you can. If you're not still a player. I mean, Bath time, you got an injury now. You're managing under 12s. De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Martinez, Malacia. Talk to me about the defence. What's the thought pattern there?
I think that I think it's Varane is obviously like there's always a concern about injuries with Varane, and like there's that red zone thing, which just disappeared actually. But there's like Varane probably could do with a sit out. Shaw could do with a sit out. You need to give game time to people. Like Harry Maguire is still the club captain, regardless of what anyone thinks, and like he's very suited to Spanish football. They might like Ten Hag might even be thinking this gets him, this puts him on the shop window because he's got all the attributes you need to play in the Spanish leagues. And then I was a bit surprised Wan-Bissaka starting. I thought that why? Because we've got a lot of games coming up. And Wan-Bissaka, I feel, is number one choice at the moment. Ooh. And I think that you should, in these kind of games, you should give people run-outs to just remind people to stay on their toes. Like, Delot needs football. Like, if Wan-Bissaka gets a hip injury and is out for 4, maybe 6 weeks, we're going to need Delot tip-top. So I thought, and then you keep Martinez in because we need a left footer. And as much as I'd love to see Heaton get a game, let's just keep De Gea in and see what he does this week.
Any objections there, Stuart, to that defensive starting lineup?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm surprised Buckland's not even started a game yet. I mean, it's a similar sort of situation with Dubravka, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, we was always going to go through tonight. It was a bit nervy for the first 20 minutes, but I'm surprised Buckland's not been given a run out. He's a decent keeper.
So what about we're going to midfield now? It's Casemiro and Fred, and what's the thought behind that? Because obviously we know Casemiro is probably out for the next few Premiership games.
Yeah, he picks up a booking as well tonight, so I'm surprised Ten Hag left him on. But like you said, he's professional enough to get through the game without getting that booking. So Bruno went off as well. So they'll both be ready for the first leg of the quarter final.
What's the alternatives then if you're picking a team tonight in midfield? Casemiro and Fred. What was the alternative?
McTominay.
Okay, McTominay.
Yeah.
Youngsters as well with 4-1 up. Any?
Kobe Mainoo's still not being given minutes yet, but his time will come, like Palestri. But we'll get on to that in a minute.
And bath time. I mean, talking about that midfield, talking about selection thing, and thinking forward as well as a manager. The manager, everyone claims the manager seems to play his strongest side most games. So is there no looking for sort of younger players working their asses off in training and that, or do you think that's fair?
Bruv, I've given up trying to work out what goes on in the half spaces between Ten Hag's ears. Like, you have that's a tactful joke for you, lads. I don't understand a lot of the stuff that Ten Hag does. I would suspect that Casemiro came in and told him there's absolutely no way he's going to get a yellow card. He's got to play. Yeah. And people seem to forget that Casemiro was benched for about 6 or 7 games by McTominay, and I imagine that he's a bit concerned about regaining his place. Like, that team has fierce competition, and like if Sabitzer comes in and does well, or McTominay comes in and does well, off the back of what happened at Liverpool, like, everyone should be like looking over their shoulder. And if you have Casemiro, he's such a pudding. You need legs. Like, he is. You need legs around him. So Fred is always going to be there helping out. But I think I would have liked to have seen some plan changes 60 minutes if the tie is over, with Mainu coming on, or Zidane Iqbal, or just get some youngsters in, because it's not going to be another game in the foreseeable future where we can give some youngsters a run out against a professional outfit that are extremely annoying, like Betis. So what did you think, Amondi?
Well, I'm just going through, we've just talked about the midfield. I agree. I thought that was the best starting lineup we could have started with. It's just the starting, Bruno, I think maybe could have got a rest, but he seems irreplaceable at the moment. And Palestri, I'm just glad he got a start. I mean, Garnacho doesn't really get it often. He's had about 2-3 starts. Palestri got a start today. We talk about his performance later, but that was good to see. And I think when you got a team of like 10 starters that he tends to play, even Maguire, he's started 12 games this season. I think throwing one in like Palestri is not too bad. So he does err on the side of caution, I think, our manager. And that sort of is demonstrated once again with the squad, the starting lineup we saw today. So I think he's very cautious, our manager, and very shrewd, and brings someone in slowly. Palestri gets to start today and demonstrates, we'll come to that, but demonstrates that why we need the majority of first teamers. I think, do you agree, Stuart? Because we've got Bruno, Palestri, Bedford, and Rashford we started with, when it could have been others. He could have rotated maybe when you think, look.
I mean, early second half, I thought, I know did we make 5 changes during the second half?
Yeah.
I thought they would have come earlier, but yeah, I'm glad Palestri got 90 minutes. For such a young lad, small lad, he's very strong on the ball, and I was impressed with that tonight, to be honest.
Good stuff, guys. We're going to come to the comments, and what's next? The performance, and this is what we're here for. We're here to talk about the performance of the game, but I want to talk about who's in the house. We've got there's loads of people. We've got Jeff here as well. Big up to Shah United. Haven't seen you for a while, Shah. Hope you're doing well. Heard you in London a couple of weeks ago for the final, and you didn't call us once. Big up, though. Big up. Nice to see you. And we got Jeff in the house. He said, Stuart, bath time, and OMONDI. Thank you very much. Andrew Williams. How you doing, Andrew? Nice to see you here. Anyone watching Arsenal? Probably not. They 1-0 up, I think. Jeff saying, how did your hip go, bath time? OMONDI, how did you do your leg? Quickly.
I failed to prepare properly for a match.
Okay, and I got a dead leg. Someone need me. I ran into someone to tackle them, and they need me, and it just messed up my leg completely. But Zoe Media House, how you doing? Go check out her YouTube channel. A lot of good house music on there. Jeff's saying here, so I can come to England and get a run out there. More than welcome. My team or bath times if there's space available. I don't know.
Wow.
More so mine.
Yeah.
There's a slot. There's 2 slots going at the moment. If you want, we've got Rich Sports. Go and check out his channel. Rich, you on tonight? Let us know in the comments, and we'll big you up. Rich Sports. Don't forget Monday nights. Rich Sports does a beautiful tactical show with bath time. Zoe Media House is saying hi to everybody. You want to say hi to Ed Mayhem? That shows how international we are from Scandinavia. big up to you. And now Kane is in the house as well. Here we go. Maguire was very shaky against Andrew Williams. Andrew, we're going to bump heads. We're going to bump heads. Jordan, all the way from Jamaica, says, congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. We're through to the next round, of course. I want to say hi to Glenn, friend of Stuart, and friend of the show as well. Glenn, appreciate all the work you're doing with the mugs. I haven't got my mug with me just yet, not in reach, but there's the lovely Casemiro, cheeky face on the other side of the Man United Agenda logo. So big up to you, Glenn, sorry. Miko's in the house as well. How you doing, Miko? He said, up the agenda. It's beautiful over here in Seville. Wow. That's your part of the world, bath time. He's living it up. Zoe Media House saying, why isn't Wan-Bissaka getting England called up? Terence Trent,
D'Arby.
Sorry, I always get that wrong. Terence Arnold, whatever his name is. He's been shy all season, she's saying. Jeff's all the way in Texas. It's very warm there right now. I want to say hi to Mr. B. He's done a beautiful watch along with our man from Power Hour, Football Power Hour as well. So I say hello to him. Question or statement here from Emma. Dello had a few games in a row after he came back from injury, and then Wan-Bissaka had a few. I think Ten Hag is rotating them in a decent way, in her opinion. Jeff's saying as well about the merchandise will be up and running on the official Man United website very soon. So go and support the channel and get your mugs, guys. Get your mugs. They're really nice, honestly. Emma saying here, I know the game had to come to a bit of standstill, but I did like Casemiro, Sabitzer, and Bruno together. And Palestri, a few comments here. Palestri actually hustled back to help in defence. I'm going to ask Bath Time about that because he's got issues. He's got good observation about people defending properly from wide areas as well. And Terence Trent D'Arby's a better defender. Well, sign a name across your heart. Yeah, Terence Trent D'Arby. The man. Performance now. All right, we're going into the game 4-1 up. How do you set up? What do you think of Betis as a team? We played Barcelona, now Betis. What do you think of Spanish football in the whole? How do you think we performed? Obviously, first half, I've got loads of notes with action. But Stuart Marshall, start us through this first half because it was like the commentators were saying it's back and forth, back and forth. Did you think it was like an instinct?
Yeah. I mean, excuse me, it was the first 20 minutes. I mean, Betis had several half chances, didn't they? But, I mean, we had a couple. But I think it was a case of just getting through the half time, seeing the game out. I mean, it wasn't an exciting game, to be honest, was it? But like I said, when you're 4-1 up from the first leg, it is what it is. We got through. Job done.
Okay, so how do we set up bath time? Let's look at this because we did a tactical show the other day. One thing on the first minute, I've got issues about kicking his girl again. He gave a hospital pass to the right back and nearly got cut out. And then after that, he played a 30-yard crossfield pass that went out of play, and I think, oh, here we go again. I was thinking, I need to speak to Bath Time about this. But also, how do you think we set up? Because you were talking about the box midfield that Real Betis had, and you gave a fantastic stat saying, again at Old Trafford, once we gave the ball away, it took us about 2 minutes to get the ball back off them. But it didn't seem like that today. But the box midfield, I did observe. So good looking at. What do you think about Betis, the way they set up, and the way we did we change anything from last week?
No, I don't think we did change anything from last week because I'm getting really worried about this United team because I don't think we have the players that can control a game. So that first 20 minutes of like back and forth was like, it's like a fight in a phone box. It was just like trading punches. Stuart, you said they were half chances. I think 2 1-on-1s are not really half chances. Like we could have been punished hard there.
Not when you've got Big Dave in goal, Bath Time.
Yeah, well, we have De Gea in goal. I'm sure Big Dave is a good keeper. But with De Gea, I don't really want to talk about De Gea and his distribution and stuff. We've said all we need to say about it, and it's become feels like political, isn't it? That there's sort of camps for it. But I feel that United haven't been set up in a way that they should have been set up in. All we needed to do tonight was get a clean sheet, right? I don't care if you get that from having a low block and you just put out like all your defenders and you don't give them a chance, or you have you have your technical players on the ball who just pass it about, create spaces, pop it over there, frustrate the opposition. Like those are the two standard ways we should have played. We went out, we got our cojones out and sort of went, we're the big boys and stuff like that. And we had a sort of like a neutered Casemiro tonight because he's not getting physical. He knows he's on a yellow. He's not like going to be wobbling about, smacking people up. And I just felt that like over the two legs, I felt that Betis were levels above us in both of the first halves, and then completely fell off a cliff in the second half. And I'm really concerned about this United team because we're giving the ball away too much. We're far too direct, and if Rashford isn't on it, and I know he scored tonight, but Rashford had a bit of a howler for me. I don't know where the goals are coming from us, but I know where they're coming from the opposition team. We've got too many men far forward, and we're too open. I think it's a case now of let's just tighten up and grind the season out, and like we'll get another cup if we're hard to beat. We've got quality up front. Should get another cup, but I'm pretty concerned. Monday, what do you think? Is this just my normal pessimism?
Yes, most certainly. Fairly concerned. I think, look, put it like this. You talked about Real Betis and how good they were. We kept the ball really well at Old Trafford, that kind of thing. And I think to come here today and get a clean sheet for one and the result 1-0, I think that's pretty good. Now, we didn't rotate that much. We played a strong side, but you have to give some credit where it's due. To compare it, Betis are fifth in the league. We beat Barcelona over two legs, and we had a great performance in the Nou Camp as well. And this was like a mini Nou Camp, but 3 tiers. It's really intimidating atmosphere. Great stadium, and they were really up for it as well. So I think this back and forth thing, I think it was down to sort of maybe mentality. I don't think that's the way we're trying to play. Oh, we must get the ball and go forward straight away. Thing. We haven't got Eriksen there. We had Fred on the ball, for example. These aren't the sort of players who are going to be slowing it up and managing the game in that respect. So I kind of expected that. But against a tired team like Barcelona, Arsenal, Man City, these sort of teams, I think the mindset will be different, and we will be more football will be more designed to keep the ball and not give it away like we have done in the past. But I think we're getting better in that respect. But I'm not coming down on you. I just think it's a bit pessimistic because I'm happy about the result. But yes, because you're a coach and you're very observant about the game, what usually happens is you make your point, I think about it, and I say, yeah, maybe you got a point. You got a good point there, even if it takes a few months. So yeah, I'm not having that just yet, but I'm going to soak that one up and have a think about it.
I just think we should be further forwards than we are Monday as a football team. I thought up till Christmas, I thought that we were doing all right in the progression that you wanted to see under a new system, and stuff like that. But I feel since Christmas, I felt that we're actually going backwards a little bit, where our build-up out of the back is now targeted by every team.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem for us getting out of the back, and because of that, we're becoming more and more direct. Now, it might be the signing of Weghorst offers us an outlet, and so we can go a bit longer, we can go a bit more direct, but we're not compact enough around Weghorst for second balls. Like, if you look at the sort of like Newcastle, we played in a block in the final and we defended it really well. We took our chances. They're not a great football team, so we beat them fine. But all the recent games, I feel that they've been like sort of Ollie performances where it could have gone either way. And we obviously had one that went completely one way against our rivals recently, but I don't see where the sort of security in the team is coming from. We just keep pushing and we keep going, and it just feels so immature. Like that there's no control on the game.
Sure, you're shaking your head there from your comments.
You've got to remember, this is Ten Hag's first season. It's and after that Brighton game, end of August, if anybody would have said to you 6 months down the line, you're going to be in the quarterfinal of the Europa League, quarterfinal of the FA Cup, third in the Premiership, and you've won the League Cup, you'd bite their hands off. You'd probably bite their whole bloody bodies off. So I think it's myself growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, when it all started going well, I think we're trying to think that we're up there. There's a lot of United fans who think we're there again, but no, Bath Time's right in a lot of things he's saying. We're not there yet. There's still a long, long way to go, but we're on the right track. So, trust the process. There's a long way to
Well,
go.
Arthur likes to scratch the surface, and he's not liking what he sees. But I think the majority of fans would be happy when you look at it, going to Betis and getting a win away from home. There's a comment here earlier from Emma, I think, talking about our record in Spain.
That's terrible. Terrible.
So my thoughts driving home tonight was okay, they didn't have that much possession. It was kind of end-to-end like a fast break basketball game. But we must have been getting amongst them enough to sort of turn over the ball or get in their faces a bit to make it difficult for them. I was just trying to think, because I was watching the game at work, I didn't really get to study it in that much detail. So I'm thinking, what did we do so well to make it that way, to hustle them or get in their faces, that kind of thing? I thought we performed pretty well to do that. We've got to play to our strengths sometimes, so we might not be able to convert to the box system, which go and check out Rich Sports on Monday night. Bath Time explained brilliantly, which Real Betis play, and a lot of high-profile teams like Man City and Arsenal as well. And we're kind of, how do you counter that? And I think with the short time that we had to sort of since we played each other, I thought we've done well today against Betis. And yeah, I do agree. I don't agree. I think we've come on leaps and bounds under Ten Hag. It takes a while to adapt and change to something that's new to a lot of these guys, and I think he's done a brilliant job in implementing that over since June he's been at the club so far. I want to go for some comments, guys. Stop me. Just say stop or like snap as they do when you're playing cards if you just want to respond to something here. But there's a few comments from some of our respected guys here. Andrew Williams saying bit ropey performance he thinks tonight. No snap. Emma saying Palestri didn't look nervous at all, looked lively and brave, and seemed to have a good partnership with AWB. You're shaking your head, you're nodding in approval there.
Nodding. Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, 100%, OMONDI, yeah.
Okay, Zoe's saying here, before Ten Hag, our record, this is the question, this is the thing about Spain, our record versus Spanish team was atrocious. Now we've beaten Barca and Betis. I want Phil in the next round. Okay. It was like a basketball game early on, fast break. Box is saying the officials were ropey. That Palestri booking, that was dodgy. A couple of obvious missed corners. Standards are poor. Genuinely, says Emma, I don't remember the start of the game. Box is saying here, Emma K, we wasted about 10 chances to go for the kill the tie off early on. Rashford looks awful, capital letters. No one want to jump
Stop.
on that?
Yeah, not a bad finish. Not a bad finish, though, was it, Andrew? Come on, eh?
But prior to that, like 30 seconds prior to that, he skied one over the bar, but getting played in. And then he had another bobble shot as well and got played in. But he does seem to step up and score goals. Rashford looking jaded, lost a couple of duels tonight, getting out muscled. I thought he's put on a lot of physicality this last couple of years. He looks stronger. Darius has explained the situation very well to Andrew Williams. There are some worrying signs. Andrew's agreeing with you, Darius.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? He's been on the drink again tonight, Andrew.
Fred was dire first half also. We're talking about the first half. Do you think Fred, I mean, he was busy. I'll give him that. Box is saying here, we need Anthony Sancho to put in more consistency. We are lacking Eriksen. I agree there. I love Eriksen. Yeah. Martial's technical ability as well.
I couldn't agree more with that. Like what Box is talking about. What Box is talking about there, with Martial and Eriksen, these are our technically secure players that can look after the ball. And one of the reasons that I say I think we're going backwards is that I'm probably comparing the team with Eriksen in it and with Martial in it to the team we have at the moment, where we just don't have players that are able to fulfill these roles. Like with Fred and Casemiro they're never going to look after the ball. No. Like it's just not who they are.
Okay. I'm not worried. We're still in a transitional season, says Emma. Manager's first season. It could be a lot worse. Could be. Andrew saying, Darius, we need to move on from our Scots and Freds. Andrew's also saying we have to get press-resistant centre midfielders. Talking about Frankie de Jong, clearly he's a good player, isn't he, in that respect. I want to say hi to Paul. Paul saying, don't agree to United improved from last season, but United performed really well in the first half. We at least controlled the game. Anyone want to step in on that one?
Well, it's just not true, is it?
No, I don't think we control the game at all.
I think what Paul's saying here about controlling the game, because he's saying, look, he said we've improved from last season. We agree with that.
Yes, yeah.
First half, he said we performed really well, and we at least controlled the game. We controlled the game. He's saying, what do you think he's coming from with that?
Not from reality. or certainly not from what I was watching. So, Paul, it's just a joke. Shout out to the banders worldwide. I just don't think that we did control the game. I don't think we were set up to keep the ball. I felt that we went massively direct. Like, controlling the game, right, is about just like putting the ball in the freezer. Right, it means like slowing the game down. They don't get any chances. You keep possession of the ball. You force them into blocks. Like, you don't let them play their game and stuff. And what we managed to do, which I genuinely haven't seen against a Spanish team in years, is we turned it into a Premier League match in the first 20 minutes. Like that's not La Liga. And I've played Spanish football a lot. Like, we don't play like that in Andalusia. Like, so we didn't control the game. We just joined in the insanity.
Emma saying here, we have a squad built for counter-attacks. It's what the team is best at. Of course, we're going to go that way if we're struggling a bit. Mr. B done a brilliant watch along. He's saying, Stuart talking about being a cannibal. What's that about? Sorry, I must have missed something there.
That was about
eating. Yes, of course, eating. Yeah, you would bite your hand off for that one. That's it. And Jeff is saying here, Erik ten Hag knows what system he wants to run, but not all the players he has can do what he wants. Over several windows, I think we will see his vision develop. He is winning with the players others couldn't. And Vincent, how you doing, Vincent? Erik is doing a great job. I'm actually enjoying sitting at Old Trafford watching Manchester United at home games. And yeah, a few more things there. All right, so we're going to half time 0-0. Second half, we come out and we score a goal. Rashford, obviously, you were saying earlier, Stuart, take this away because Rashford had two chances, one saved at the keeper's feet. We got a one-on-one situation. It was a break, actually. It was like 4 against 3. We had Pellistri, Bruno, and Rashford. And maybe it's decision-making in that sort of fast break situation. We were outnumbered them, but Rashford actually got played through. And he hit the keeper, came out, made a good save. And then minutes later, he got played in and he skied it. I mean, he skied it.
But I mean, that did take an awful bobble, Amondi. When you looked at the slow motion, it did take a bad. But even so, the thing with Rashford, he likes to go for power, doesn't he? Sometimes just calmly place it in the bottom corner or whatever. But that's Rashford's game. He likes to go for power. And it's worked 27 times or so this season, so we can't knock him, can we?
Bath time, like he's had 2 chances there. Now, what's the mindset of a player like Rashford? He's had 2 chances and then suddenly he scores. To me, that's elite mindset. He does that as a celebration. But for me, maybe it's fluky, whatever. But he shot from outside the box this time around and took responsibility and shot a beautiful shot. I don't know if you can shoot with your laces like that. But what do you think about the mindset after missing 2 kind of good chances? What does a player like that tell himself? Because obviously he stepped up next time.
I didn't like it, to be honest. I think that he took he took that long shot because he was pissed off with himself. Like I agree with Stuart that bobble was a bit unfortunate, but he should be able to score that goal. Yeah. And I think that Rashford got the ball and just was like, right, have it. And just and went for it, and we've all been in that situation. Most of us would have been in that situation before, where we're not particularly pleased with how we're playing, and so we just go and like have a crack and see what happens. But maybe that's why I'm not a striker, because I don't like that attitude. But I think that if that doesn't go in, right, the whole team's on your back. Over that, you miss 2 chances, you're being selfish, but it goes in, and this is what I'm talking about, is that there's so many fine margins are going our way at the moment. Like, because that was not good play from Rashford to do that. Like, to miss 2 easy chances and then take a shot when, like, we're trying to play possession football. Yeah, I agree, precisely. Emma, if Solo would let me use that kind of language, I would say that, but that's... I mean, Rashford. Look, I thought Rashford had a bit of a shocker today, and then he just pulls a moment out of the bag, and that's why we love him.
That's what world-class players do. Last time.
You think Rashford is world-class?
I'd say that's what good strikers do. But as Sir Alex said, he's not a striker, and Rashford isn't a striker. So
we're talking Rashford. Stuart, what do you think? I mean, because I saw a couple of times Rashford was in situation 1-on-1, and he made the defender look big and strong. He got muscled out of it a couple of times. What do you want more from Rashford apart from scoring goals? Is it the outside of the goal scoring that you want to see better play?
It's difficult to say, Amondi. I mean, obviously he cuts in. He's not a striker, even though, he's spent so many seasons, he's scoring goals and he's got 27 this season. Why isn't he a striker? Why is he playing on the left? Why is he playing on the right? Why is he doing this? I don't know. Well, we're not the managers. Only Ten Hag can say that. But I don't know what else we can see from Rashford. That he's probably on the top of his game at the moment, isn't he? To be honest. So what more can we see from him?
Well, the question is, because I think people are saying he's had a bit of a poor performance today, and we can be critique players' performances, but he scored the goal. Now, is that enough, or should we be saying no? In this situation, you're in a one-on-one situation, you've ran into the player, or should we really be saying this, or can we get away with it by scoring a goal? I'll give you a clue. Example: the other day, I'm saying to a defender who keeps crashing the ball, he doesn't know how to pass properly. He just wasn't in my team. Pass the ball, pass it off. He doesn't know. He just wants to get the ball and kick it long, like he gets power.
OMONDI, quickly. Yeah. Can I stop you quickly? Is his name Harry Maguire?
No, unfortunately not. I'd love him at my team. But anyway, this guy keeps crashing the ball. And we keep arguing about it. I'm saying, just play it to the right back. Just play it there. Because we keep getting the ball away. He doesn't understand. He just wants to crash it and feel power by kicking it long. So the other day, I had a go at him because he kicked it long, went nowhere. I said, their right back was there, just play it. He refused. And then the week later, we're playing a game and he crashed it, caught the win from the halfway line and lobbed keeper. And he took you to the sidelines to me. Like he's done something right. But I'm thinking, well, you're not going to do that every week, are you? So Rashford, that's why I was talking about Rashford's chance today. He's had a few bloopers and then suddenly he's like, right, I'm taking this on myself. And Malacia, by the way, done a great overlapping run, dragged the defender away because people were saying, why aren't they closing him down? I thought that was, there was a lot of space for him to shoot. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I just got to go through a few comments about it, about Rashford's mentality. Obviously, Emma saying, he was pissed with himself and then just said, F it. Andrew Williams saying, Marcus' mentality is Ollie-esque. He worried me tonight. Mark Jeremiah, how you doing? We have to remember this is a squad. This squad has played most games of any team in the Premier League. They're all in. They need some rest, so performances will dip. Box is saying Rashford was doing a Weghorst impression with his earlier chances. Man of the match will give to Rashford, said Vincent. So there you go. We all disagree on this one. Mark Jeremiah again saying everyone's jumping at Rashford's performance, but he's played almost as many games as Bruno, and many have been poor games. Not many though. I want to say hi to George Kyle. He said, "Did someone call for the GOAT? Is that you, George? You're here. Welcome to the Man United Agenda." We have to remember Marcus has not been playing awesome all season. He has been playing awesome all season. If today was a little dip, then I'll take that. Emma's saying here, sometimes you need players to do that, not having the best of games, get pissed at himself, and then just scores. A bit like Rooney's goal, isn't it, when he's having to go to the referee. Andrew Williams saying, if he isn't a striker, then where are all these assists? And George is saying here, if I ever get sentenced to death, I find to be the shooter. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. All right. So after that, we're 1-0 up. Take it away, Stuart. What did you see for the remainder of the game? Betis had that sort of deflated them.
It was deflated. I mean, the crowd, they started filtering out, didn't they? And the atmosphere just dropped and it was dead. So, in my opinion, the game was over after 20, 25 minutes, to be honest. So I don't know why everyone's saying Rashford was shy, whatever. Look, we're 4-1 up. We was always going through. So let's not take any negatives. Well, was there many positives? Yeah, the positives were we won and we've gone through to the quarterfinals. But let's just get off the players' backs a bit tonight. All
right, we're going to wind it up now, guys. In the comments, player rating, man of the match. Just going through the team, who really stood out for you? Rather than going through let's go through the defensive unit. We've got a clean sheet. What does that represent for me? All right, you know where I'm going to go with this. I think Harry Maguire. I thought he played really well, and he'd be my man of the match. I'm saying that with chest. I really believe Harry Maguire. I think to myself, wow, this guy gets pelters and he has expected to turn up and step in there into a defensive unit, which used to be his. It's like, and now he's sort of standing there with other people, he has to represent as well because he's the captain. And I thought he played really well. His interceptions were good. He won a few headers, clearing headers, which is just standard for most people. But when he's not there, it doesn't always happen that way. And we expect him to do it all the time. There's a couple of times where there's good run by the striker. They had a one-on-one situation where he ran in between, peeled off Maguire and then got on the blind side of Martinez. So Maguire should have passed him off verbally in a way. But I thought Maguire was really good today. Didn't put foot wrong, and the reason he's man of the match because he played the whole 90 minutes and he's got a clean sheet and he didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. I can't say, oh, here we go, there's another mistake or anything like that. Played really solid, and if you're one of these Spanish fans watching it, you'll be saying he's a good player. Why don't we go for him? That's the kind of thing I expect. He's a good international player, and he proved it again today. So salute to Harry Maguire. I wish my mug was here because I would say that to him. But overall, the defense as well. I thought they played well. Defense for you guys, Stuart. Defense, please.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Maguire was man of the match. I don't think I'll ever be able to say that Monday. But yeah, he was solid tonight, and he didn't do himself no damage or no harm whatsoever and get a summer transfer out of United tonight. So yeah, he put in a good performance. Let's see if Betis or someone like that will sign him in the summer.
What about half time? The chances created by Betis, is there any issue with the defence as a unit? How do you see that today? Because they did have a few chances.
I felt it came more from midfield, but I'm extremely biased, and I think everything comes from midfield. But I thought the block was poor, and it was
just explain the block. Who would that be?
So it didn't really exist tonight, but you'd have expected it to have been Palestri, Rashford, Casemiro, Bruno, and then Casemiro in behind them. So like that 1-4-1-4-1 that you see all the time off the ball. But a lot of their chances came because Casemiro and Fred were too high up the pitch. And then, so they're just straight through the lines coming at us. And I thought the defence did all right. I'll agree with you. I thought Harry Maguire at times looked magnificent tonight. There was a moment where he got the ball in the second half, and he just like dribbled the ball up to the halfway line, broke through lines, and then released Bruno with a magic pass. And if that's what you've got on the bench, if you've got a dependable, reliable centre-back who's got that in your locker, then the future's bright. Like he's absolutely fantastic to have in the squad. And I thought he came on and showed exactly why he's been in the Euros and the World Cup team of the tournament, got to finals, finished second and third. Like, he's not a bad player, and I'm not like Stuart, where like I just have this thing against people from Sheffield. I like Harry Maguire, and I'm very pleased that everyone can, apart from Andrew, can say that he had a good game tonight.
I want to say hi to Matty, Football United TV. Go and subscribe to his channel. Brilliant stuff. Vincent saying Rashford man of the match for him. A good one here. I like this one. I agree. Honestly, our fullbacks were good tonight. They'd be man of the match, says Emma Kay. I thought the fullbacks were pretty good. We got Harry Maguire, was like Harry Beckenbauer at one point in the first half. Tried it down the field like a prize thoroughbred, says George. Kyle, we've got a few player ratings here. There's a couple of fives there. One for Martinez, I think. One for Fred. And Rashford and Weghorst as well. But the fullback's looking good. And Casemiro gets a 4. So
he gets a 7. Casemiro gets a 7.
Oh, sorry. Casemiro. Oh, so it's Fred.
Fred gets 4.
Fred gets a 4. Sorry, I didn't read it right. So, who stood out for you? I mean, what about Palestri? A lot of the kid Palestri. Do you like him? And give me a man of the match.
I'd go for Palestri myself for man of the match. Why? Because he looked after the ball the best of anyone in the midfield. He was diligent with his defending. I felt he offered an outlet, but most important of all, I felt he supported Fred and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like when they needed a pass, Palestri was in the right place to take the ball, whereas with everyone who plays on our right-hand side, whether it's Sancho or Garnacho or Anthony, they never seem to be there offering to support a player on the ball. They're always really, really far forwards. And I really like Palestri's hair. I like his confidence. I like the fact that he enjoys himself by being disciplined, but also Palestri's Uruguayan, by the way.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he's not Chilean.
I wish he was Chilean. Yeah. But like, I felt that he was strong on the ball. He worked hard. I think he's really got himself close to the first team now. You can rely on him. I thought he looks like a really good prospect.
Matty realised he's made a mistake there with the Chile Uruguayan, which. Sure, coming to you last, man of the match. And do you agree? I mean, Bath Times just give a great analysis about what we saw from Palestri today. Who's your man of the match and why?
I mean, I'd like to give it, to be honest, to Maguire or Wan-Bissaka. I thought Wan-Bissaka's tackling at the time. We know he's got telescopic legs anyway, but I'd have to agree with Bath time. I'd give it to Pellistri for the pure fact I think it was his first start tonight, was it? Especially away to a Spanish team in the Europa League. So I'll give it to Pellistri. I mean, his work ethic was fantastic tonight. He was tracking back, helping the fullbacks. He was pushing on when he could. First start in Europe for him, so I'll give it to Pellistri. No one stood out tonight, but I'll give it to Pellistri, man. It's not 100%.
Okay, a couple comments here. He's going to need a haircut if he comes to USA for the summer tour, or he's going to pass out from heat stroke. That's from Jeff, who's in Texas. It's really hot over there at the moment. Emma saying, yeah, Pellistri got a full 90. He definitely got get more game time based on the way he's been with Garnacho. We've got Paul saying, yep, first half. For his first start, having signed for us 893 days ago. George, you come with enough jokes today. Glenn is saying, cheers, guys, good show. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up now. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Make sure you press the like button. Big up to Stuart, big up to Bath time. Over
cheers,
to you,
boys.
for the last word. Happy the performance, and what's next?
I don't know. Watch Rich Sports at 10 o'clock if you want more like analysis. We're playing Fulham next, aren't we, in the Cup?
Yeah, Fulham Sunday, 4:30.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I'd like to see Sabitzer and McTominay with Bruno. And I just really hope that we can get through the season now. And I look forward to hearing lots about Victor Osimhen.
Oh.
Not on our show. And Stuart,
Okay.
final word to you. I mean, Jeff saying, love the chat, tactical talk. Thank you, Jeff, and love you tuning in. Last word, Stuart. Are you going to Fulham?
Yeah. I'm not going Fulham Sunday, no. But yeah, I mean, it's another semi-final on the horizon. Going back to Wembley. So yeah, like Bath time says, let's just hope the season doesn't fizzle out. Hopefully, we can add the Europa or the FA Cup, or why not both, and make it a treble. So yeah, let's just keep pushing on and see what happens till the end of the season.
Most certainly. Guys, we're going to sign out now. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll be back, obviously, tomorrow with 10 o'clock, the takeaway, and at 8:30 as well. Probably a preview about Fulham. Game after game. It's pure football entertainment right now. And obviously, I've heard in April, we've got 7 Premiership games in April. That's not even including cup games or whatever. So it's full on at the moment, isn't it? And yeah, let's hope the players stay fit and the players that are injured can come back into the squad as soon as possible. Anyway, we're signing out. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Man United Agenda. Monday, Stuart and Bath time. We appreciate you guys. Good night. Good night.